Kayla with the Celebration Company, and today we are doing a little switcheroo, and we're doing Watcha Cookin Wednesday on Tuesday. I had a little change of plans today, and I'm making my dad's birthday cake. His birthday is today, so happy birthday to my dad. Y'all help me wish him a happy birthday. He is 60 today, and we are celebrating this evening at a restaurant in Lexington. And so I'm making a cake, and this cake is super delicious. It's incredibly easy to make. And I call it Southern Pecan Cake, Southern Pecan Crunch Cake. You know, it's good. It's really good. And it's super easy. It's made with a box cake mix. I'm going to show you what I always do to a box cake mix to make it taste delicious and not like a box cake, to make it taste like a cake that is homemade and not out of the box. And this cake's really easy, super simple to do, and it's yummy. And I don't even love pecans in cake, but I do like this cake a lot. So it's a really good one. So that's what we're doing today. It's been a busy day around here. We're trying to get everything ready before we head out on our cruise on Friday. So we went ahead and packed up all the DIY decor boxes today. So that's super fun, and I'm glad all of that is done and they are ready to go. And so now I gotta hurry up and get this cake made so it's done in time for getting to the dinner tonight for my dad's birthday. So we got to get going on this cake, all right? So when you hop on, say hey, let me know you're watching. Thank you all for wishing him a happy birthday. Hi, Dorothy. Hey, Jamie. Hello, Susan. Hi, Kim. Hi, Danae. Hey, Glenda. Hi, Patty. Hello, Teresa. Thank you, Teresa. Hi, Sandy. Hi, Dale. Hey, Linda and Glenda and Nancy. Thanks for celebrating, y'all. Hello, everyone. Hi, Carol. Okay, so here we go. You're going to need a butter pecan cake mix, and you're also going to need a can of the coconut pecan frosting. So these two for sure. Okay. Then you're going to need eggs. You're going to need whole milk and butter. Okay. Butter instead. So anytime I have a box cake mix, in order to make it taste incredible and better than a box cake, is you're going to sub out the water for milk, whole milk. You're going to sub out the oil for butter, and you're going to double it, okay? And then you're going to add an extra egg, okay? So this calls for 3 eggs. We're adding 4 eggs, okay? And it works every time, and it's amazing. So let's get our cake going. Super easy. So the box calls for a cup of water. So we're going to do a cup of milk. Like I said, I'm using whole milk. I add my milk in first. We're making a Southern Pecan cake. And then I've got 4 eggs over here. So I'm going to go ahead and add all 4 eggs, hopefully this time without cracking them on the counter like I did the last time. And we'll combine this, and then we're going to get our butter melted. I always just use melted butter. So I'm going to go ahead and get my butter. It calls for a 1/4 of a cup of butter. So or a 1/4 of a cup of vegetable oil. So we're going to use a whole stick, and that's a 1/2 cup. I'm just going to get it in a bowl, and I'm going to get it melting in the microwave. Okay, and then let me find a whisk. Yeah. And that pour needs a little bit of love. and a rubber spatula. We're gonna whisk this up. I'm also gonna add some vanilla to this. It's another thing that you can add to make your cake taste better when you're using a box cake. So I just eyeballed the vanilla. I like to do most of my wet ingredients first, but the butter I actually add after I add the cake mix. Because I just feel like it combines a little bit better when it's got a little something to help it to combine. Does that make sense at all? Okay, so we got that mixed up. Now we're gonna add in an entire can of this coconut pecan frosting. Okay, the whole can. I'm gonna add that into our wet ingredients. Y'all, I've told y'all before, I love the taste of coconut, but I'm not a huge fan of the texture. But I can handle this cake. Okay, butter is melted. Let that set there for a second while we get this combined. Thank you, Teresa. So we're just gonna work this in. I've got my oven preheated to 350. Just getting that all combined, broken up. Okay, that's looking good. Huh?
It sounds sloshy.
Well, because it's all wet. Okay, so now let's add our cake mix in here. And typically I will stir this around a bit, and before it's completely combined, then I add in my butter. I'm gonna switch to a spatula. So I usually just start getting this combined. And then when it gets to about this stage, then I pour in my melted butter. And I just feel like it combines better into the batter rather than just the wet ingredients. No, they are not going on the cruise. It's just the girls. Okay, and this is another thing that I do not do with boxed cake mixes. I never beat it with a beater. Never. Because that's just gonna make it tough. There's no reason to beat it for 5 minutes or whatever it tells you to do, 2 minutes, no reason at all. You just want it to mix it until it's combined. Even if there's little bits of flour that aren't completely broken up, that's okay. It's gonna give you a more tender, more delicious cake.
I did not know that.
Yeah. Now, because this is my dad and he adores pecans, they are his favorite. I'm gonna add more pecans. So there's already some pecans in here with the coconut pecan frosting, but I'm gonna go ahead and add some more. So I'm gonna chop some up, about a half a cup probably. And these are pecan pieces. You could also buy the bits that are already chopped up. This is just what we had. Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining me. So we don't typically cook on Tuesdays. We've started a new routine, and we've been doing Watcha Cookin Wednesday. But we're gonna do a little switcheroo this week because Mom's back went out today, and so she was unable to make the cake. So, and because we've just been busy today, I decided that this would just be our live today. So tomorrow we'll do Dollar Tree. Tomorrow. All right, so we're gonna add this. Okay. Hi, Amanda. Y'all, funny story. Seeing Amanda made me think about this. Funny story about this cake. So I'm just giving this a quick little mix, and then we're gonna pour this into our pan, and I am gonna spray this with some Pam. So in our family, we have two funny stories about cake. Two tragic stories, actually, depending on how you want to look at it. One of them turned out in us actually able to eat the cake, and one of them turned out that we could not eat the cake. So this one particular, this cake was made for somebody's birthday. I don't remember whose birthday, but it was here at my house, and I had made the cake. And I pulled it out of the oven and I sat it on the stove. Well, silly me, Amanda says she's already laughing. Silly me forgot that the eye on the stove was on. And the cake was sitting on the eye that was on. Well, this pan, it was a Pyrex pan. It exploded and cracked, and it made this loud noise and broke on top of the stove. So we weren't able to eat this cake that time. Then sometime before, I'm pretty sure it was sometime before. Let me see how long this is supposed to bake. 13 by 9, 24 minutes. Sometime before, Amanda had made a cake, and it was a Snickers cake. And it was at her house, and it was in the summertime. And she was bringing that Snickers cake outside. And I don't know exactly what happened. Amanda can comment and say. But the Snickers cake ended up on the ground. Thankfully, it was on her deck. We still ate the cake, believe it or not. And Griffin was little, and he just lost it. I mean, just lost it. Was so distraught that the cake fell on the ground. And this is just to show you Griffin's obsession with sugar, which is still very true today. And he lost it. Just started bawling, crying. It was an event, and this has happened twice. Oops, in my family where we lost the cake. Hopefully that doesn't happen today. All right, let me find a place to put this. I don't have enough counter space, y'all. I just don't. Comments are not coming through. I think that they have just paused, which happens sometimes on this app, and then all of a sudden they just all come in. Okay, so this cake does not have a frosting. It has a glaze that goes on top, okay? So we're going to make the glaze. Kathy says, still ate the cake. Heck yeah, 5-second rule. That's right. That is right. We weren't worried about it. A little dirt doesn't hurt. You know what I mean? You know what's funny is that for some reason, and y'all tell me if you feel this way, if the cake was to fall on the floor in the house, I'm less apt to eat it than if it falls on the ground outside.
Why is that?
I don't know.
That's
You don't
weird.
feel that way?
No, because outside is like, at least your floor has a somewhat possibility of being halfway clean.
Well, my floor is not. I'll tell you that right now. Have you seen my floor? Let's see here. Amanda says the tablecloth blew in the wind, making the table appear to be where it wasn't. And she set it down on the table, but it wasn't actually on the table. And down it went. Oh my goodness. So funny, Amanda. Hey, Lynn. I know, Kathy. Susan says you have to eat a pound of dirt before you die. All right. I didn't know that was a thing. Okay, let me look this up because I don't remember how much butter and condensed milk we need. So we're going to do a can of condensed milk, 2 tablespoons of butter, and a half a cup of pecans. And we're going to cook it on the stove. Okay, so I'm going to get a pan out. Good grief. I mean, this is what happens when you have a 10-year-old putting your dishes away. It's just a mess. Just a mess, y'all. My word in heaven. Okay, there we go. I know, Kathy. Well, we had a change of plans today. It's not Wednesday. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to burst your bubble, but it's not Wednesday. Hey, Diana. Okay, so we're going to take our sweetened condensed milk, the entire can. This is the great thing about this cake. Like I said, it doesn't have a frosting. We're about to make the frosting, and it's more like a glaze, and it's mostly made with sweetened condensed milk. Teresa says the opposite. She says, maybe on my floor, but not on the ground. Man, I love that stuff. So yummy.
I've
Okay.
never seen anybody just eat that, just eat it.
Sweetened condensed milk?
Yeah.
Oh, Trisha. I could sit and eat it with a spoon. It's that yummy.
Oh my goodness, Kayla.
Oh my goodness, Lynn. Well, I hope he was okay. Okay, so I got my sweetened condensed milk in there. I'm gonna do 2 tablespoons of butter. Add that in there. And then we're gonna do a half a cup of pecans. I'm just gonna eyeball that. Should I do the rest of the bag? Let's go for it. Oh, funny, Lynn. All right, so I'm just gonna chop these up a little bit finer, and we're gonna add these to our frosting here, okay, or our glaze. I'm gonna put this on the stove, and I'm gonna just turn it on like medium, just to warm it up. Debbie says, I love condensed milk. I can eat it by a spoon too. Of course, I clean the can out. Absolutely.
That's nasty.
It's not nasty. You would like it. You just probably haven't tried it. I could drink evaporated milk as well. Anytime I make tres leches cake and I make all of the milk that goes in it, I want to put it in a cup and drink it. Because yum. Thank you so much, Rewind 1989 over on YouTube for the compliment. It's a dessert all by itself. Yes, it is. You know what happens, Trisha, when you cook sweetened condensed milk.
It turns to caramel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So basically it's caramel, just not caramelized.
But there's, yeah. I'm still not so sure about it.
I'm gonna have her try it. Come here. We're gonna have Trisha taste it. Look, I'm gonna give her some on a spatula to try. She made a little bit of a silly face, but then was like, so is that a yes or a no?
Well, it wouldn't be something I would open up and just eat, just to eat.
No.
But it's not bad.
Delicious. Carol says, now I want cake. All right, I'm gonna put my pecans into my frosting, or my glaze rather. Now the only thing I cannot remember about this cake is if I'm supposed to poke holes in the top of it or not when I add this on.
Maybe so.
I know, Kathy, right? All right, so I'm just gonna mix this up. We're gonna let this warm on the stove while the cake is baking. And then after the cake is done, we're going to pour this over the top of the cake. And I'm gonna do it while the cake's still warm so that it kind of absorbs that yumminess. Okay, let me show you what this looks like. Okay. That's all there is to it. Super simple. Butter, sweetened condensed milk, and pecans poured on top of that cake. Can y'all imagine how yummy this cake is? It's very yummy. Very yummy for sure. Yes, Dale. So anytime I do a box cake, you want to do milk instead of water, butter instead of oil, and double it. So if it calls for a 1/4 cup of butter, do a 1/2 cup of butter, or a 1/4 cup of oil, do a 1/2 cup of butter. Okay. So butter instead of oil and double it. Add an extra egg, okay, and then add vanilla. I know, Kelly. She said, I can't believe Trisha has not tried sweetened condensed milk.
No, have not.
Kathy said, shoot, just eat that. The frosting, I know. Right? I mean, you can't go wrong. You cannot go wrong with sweetened condensed milk, ever. Ever. You know? So, yeah, I agree. All right, y'all. So that's the cake. I'll try and take a picture and I'll post the recipe for y'all when it comes out so that y'all can make it too. Super duper simple, as you can see. Oh, and the other thing that I recommend, Dale, is do not use a beater when you're baking your boxed cake. Don't beat it. Just use a spatula and mix it until it's combined. Rachel, I got it from my mom, and I don't know where she got it. It's been around for a while. It's been around for a while. Yes, Patty, I will post it. You're welcome. You're welcome. All right, y'all. Well, have an amazing day. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. Sorry for the little change of plans, but I will see you all tomorrow. Tomorrow we will do a Dollar Tree craft. Kathy, it's not a hummingbird cake. A hummingbird cake, I think typically it has pineapple in it and maybe banana. This is just coconut and pecan. Okay, so if you like the coconut pecan frosting that comes on a German chocolate cake, you're probably gonna like this cake. It's made with a butter pecan cake and the coconut pecan frosting and sweetened condensed milk. So, all right, y'all, have an amazing day. Thanks for joining me. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye, everybody.